Hi, everybody, and welcome to Friday, August 9th, 2024. This is the final weekend of the Ross County Fair, and the Scioto County Fair, for that matter.
That's correct.
And I don't know if there are any other county fairs going on right now across the Buckeye State this particular week, but we know we've got others that are still to come, like the Fairfield County Fair isn't until October. There's a Brown County and Highland County, aren't they in September, I think?
Highland is always Labor Day weekend start.
Right. So just as you think your county fair enjoyment is over, it's just beginning for others. So let's keep that in mind as you make your way towards the end of the summer, which I guess we can say that because with kids starting school next week.
Some of them.
Most everybody has their summer coming to an end. My nieces and nephews who live in Tennessee, they started August 1st.
I think Chillicothe City Schools, they're a couple of weeks away, aren't they?
That I can't remember.
When I was talking to a gentleman that I think met with you, he said he was meeting with you after I had my appointment with him down at the field.
Ah, yeah, Joe. Yeah.
And I thought he said last week of August or something like that.
Okay. You know, last year I tracked all that information down. Maybe I need to do that again.
I liked it when I think there was 1 or 2 years that at least everybody in Ross County started on the same day.
Yeah,
that happened for 1 or 2 years, and then they went back to starting it all over the place.
Well, and last year when I was researching the dates and everything, going across all the school websites and all, so many of them are starting, like, for instance, Wednesday would be, if your name is A through to D, you know, and then Thursday, you got these staggered starts and everything. So it can be confusing.
Yes.
You have to get a diploma to figure out how to how to go back to school.
Yeah.
Speaking of going back to school, we've got a back-to-school story or two to share with you coming up in news. And coming up before too long, we'll also touch on sports and this date in history. A very remarkable day in history. Details are just ahead. But first, how's the weather for us as we head towards this glorious weekend?
Did you notice that it was a little bit cooler this morning?
I did notice that.
Well, it's going to be even cooler over the weekend. Friday, partly sunny and a high of 83. Cooler weather for Saturday and Sunday. The weekend, 77, both days for highs, and overnight lows of 55.
You'll be certainly starting campfires this weekend, no question there. Coming up in a moment, we had the Leonard Media cameras out at Tecumseh last night. We'll talk about that experience. Weather played a little bit in that too. Details are coming up. But first, let's tell you about Scioto Valley Dumpsters. Give them a call at 740-253-8389. Say, hey, Carl, I need a dumpster. And he'll bring one out to you. If he doesn't bring it personally, one of his boys will do it for you.
Yes, sir.
Scioto Valley Dumpsters, 740-253-8389.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today.
We are back.
We. Well, you've been watching the Olympics in Paris too much.
I was checking something on my phone, and then I got the point from Mr. Hand too, and I'm like, oh, we're back. But I didn't have the microphones turned on. We are here live and in person, and as we get ready to jump into our news, check out our website, littermedia.com. That's where you'll see all types of things going on in our community and stories that are all of the positive things that are going on in our community. If you want to find out sports scores too, we like to say it's all positive, but you know, not everybody wins.
Somebody's got.
So-
that's another song that I won't sing.
That's
Good time, Charlie's got the blues.
somebody has to lose. So I guess that's part of the only bad news we give, I think, on what we do is our sports results. But you'll find that on our sports page. We'll talk more about it coming up in sports. But first, we had the Litter Media cameras out on the mountain last night. We were helping them archive this season. You see Aaron Glandon in his natural habitat state. Even your mom.
We're playing the waiting game.
That.
I was already busting on him about that.
She says, on his phone. I said, don't you know it? And he's on his phone right now as well.
I don't see me on my phone right now.
And it's because we've got you on camera right there. The show was great. It was fantastic. And I will tell you, some of the slight, subtle changes they have made have kind of freshened up the presentation. And in talking with Brandon Smith earlier this year, before the production started, he's talked about how the new director was digging back into more of the older story from the 70s and bringing some of those to light. But it's really neat because Piece becomes a narrator through this. And so she shares a lot of detail. One unique moment was, and I ran into Bethany McDaniel's mom. She was, Bethany is a Zane Trace kid. She's been in the production for the last 4, maybe 5 years, I think. And she says, Blue Jacket couldn't be here tonight, so Bethany was playing the part of
really?
Blue Jacket.
Wow.
And it was neat because I'm like, at first, if I didn't know anything about the show, I would say, wait a second, I don't remember Blue Jacket being a girl. But she did a fantastic job. Was the prettiest Blue Jacket I've ever seen. But even some of the actors had changed up their response to her. They would say she and also change the pronoun, so to speak. So that was really cool. But rain hit us for, the last 10 minutes of the
There
show?
were about 2 scenes left, and it just started
You had
pouring.
rain?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sheesh.
And so here
Send
we
it
are.
to Frankfurt, will you?
We were sitting there, and the shower, I could see through the lights because we were in the back, and I could see through the lights, raindrops were coming. People sat through that for probably 3 minutes. I started
Maybe.
seeing movement coming up.
Yeah.
And so they were all starting to walk underneath the pavilion. But still, about 1/5 of the crowd sat through it all.
The show
without
went on.
issue. And the show did not stop either.
They had like a fire on the stage, and I was wondering if that was going to go out.
Oh,
it never
no.
did.
Do you know why?
No.
Because it's fueled by litter quality propane.
Yeah.
Yes. So at any rate, it was a fantastic show, and thank you to everybody that helped out. They talk about the earthquake that he predicts.
Yeah.
And so I don't remember in the show there being a presence of an earthquake. Last night, the presence of an earthquake was there. And so they added that sound effect. That's when it started raining.
How about that?
And so all where Tecumseh gets down on his knees in front of the campfire and he's talking to the Great Spirit, and the rain is just coming down. And I can't remember the actor who's playing Tecumseh this year, but he was awesome. Performed greatly, and then it started to dissipate during the final battle scene, and it just added so much to it. And Piece brought me to tears when Tecumseh's oldest brother, Chicksika, when he gets killed in battle, she poured out grief in a way I've not seen it before. It was very well done. So if you've not been out to see Tecumseh for a while, you got to go see it. It goes until September 1st of this year. So remember, no shows on Sunday or Monday except for September 1st. So that'll be the last showing on a Sunday.
Yeah. Get out there before it winds up for the season. Something else you got to hurry to go see before it winds up, and that's the Ross County Fair. Today is the next to last day of the fair. You can see the final beef judging or beef cattle open class there. And the grandstand entertainment tonight is autocross.
If you've never seen autocross, you got to go see it.
And then, of course, the granddaddy on Saturday is after the sales earlier in the day.
Right. Demolition
Nighttime
derby.
demo derby. Now, there was a couple years they had fireworks at the end. Do you know if they're doing that this year or not?
I think they do it every year.
I have not seen any promotion of it for this year, so I was just wondering.
And the fair book is not here close by to take a look at, so I think it's
here
over
on
on
the
my.
corner. Somebody must have.
I took it
Got you.
so I could do all the things we just looked at.
Okay.
All right, next we have for you today is back to school.
Yay!
And that's your story. I can do it if you want.
Let's go ahead. Back to school supplies drive is today. I think 2 weeks ago you had Carrie and her husband.
Yeah,
in?
2 or 3.
2 or 3.
Mm-hmm. And they just started.
That we're talking about this. It, as Dan said, it just got underway at American Legion Post 62 here in Chillicothe. It'll go until 7 o'clock tonight. They're accepting donations through August the 18th at the Legion Post. Monetary donations, backpacks, school supplies, and also youth-size socks, underwear, and leggings. Cash or checks should be made out to the American Legion Post 62. Also, please note on checks, back to school drive through or stop in. So that's the one that's taking place here today in Chillicothe.
And you were mentioning, so this is what I was looking up a moment ago when I got caught off guard to we're coming back. You mentioned that Tomlinson Insurance Agency shared a post about this, so I was looking it up here, and they are donating $30 to every policy they write until today.
Gotcha.
For this back-to-school thing. So I don't know how many they've written, but if you were a participant in that, thank you for helping with the back-to-school. Back-to-school bash is going on down in Pike County at the Pike County Fairgrounds. This happens every year. It's really a big deal, and there's usually face painting and all kind of stuff like that, fun and games, music. They ask you to bring toiletries, clothing. They would be doing haircuts. I need a haircut. Maybe I should get out there. That's 11 to 3 tomorrow. Children must be present in order for free school supplies to be granted.
Gotcha. Another hurry and get there before it's over. The last day open for the Chillicothe City Pool for the season is this coming Sunday, August 11th. Some of the area schools are starting up next week, so as they have done in years past, they kind of wind things down for the Chillicothe City Pool, but open through this Sunday.
There's nothing like a Touch a Truck event, and this is pretty awesome. It's always fun to do, especially up in Circleville, because they seem to do it right. OhioHealth Berger Hospital is partnering with Round Town Cruisers and Sunny 95 to present the Touch a Truck and Cruise-In event on Saturday. The Cruise-In's new to this, from what I understand. Sunny's been there, I think the last 5-6 years they've been doing this.
You think Dan Mitchell will be there?
No. Dan Mitchell was there one day, and I got a chance to talk with everybody that I said, nobody remembers who Dan Mitchell is. But this is coming up on Saturday, August 17th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the hospital's campus located at 600 North Pickaway Street in Circleville. It's a family-friendly event. It promises a day of community engagement. It features a variety of activities and attractions. And when I was there last, it was something that the Community Action did, PICA. And so this is going to be at the hospital on their campus as opposed to over at the PICA location. But Touch a Truck, we went up with Litter Quality Propane's propane trucks one year, and the kids couldn't get enough of blowing the air horn. You know,
I bet.
It just, the looks on their faces. In fact, if you go to our Facebook page and look in our photo albums, there are a couple of photo albums of Touch a Truck events that we have done in previous years, and you'll be able to see that here on our Litter Media Facebook page.
Applications are now available for the 2025 Fayette County Travel and Tourism Bureau's Assistance Grant Program. Funds are available to nonprofit and local community organizations to benefit Fayette County recreational and tourism activities. To be eligible for consideration, the applicant requesting funding must have a project that has the probability of increasing tourism and or recreational activity in Fayette County. And I believe the deadline on that is in September, but you go to our website, story@littermedia.com, and you'll get the full details, and it'll also take you right to the link for criteria as well as the application itself.
Back in the 1980s, it would have been right after graduation. Jeff Prince and I played tennis on these courts in Ashville. Well, now they've set them up for pickleball.
Hey.
And so if you're up in Pickaway County and you're looking for an opportunity to play pickleball, the Village of Asheville has upgraded their park with those brand new pickleball nets and lineup there on the what used to be, I believe, the tennis courts at the time. And now they don't provide the balls or the paddles, so you'll have to bring that. But they've got the nets ready to rock and roll.
Up in Asheville.
At Asheville Village Park.
A late-breaking story just before going on the air this morning. Governor Mike DeWine has announced that Ohio Department of Transportation Director Jack Marchbanks will step down as director on September the 30th. Pamela Vest Boraton will be nominated to serve as ODOT director beginning October 1st. She will need to be confirmed by the Ohio Senate, so that'll probably be an interim position until that confirmation can come about. Our road report, we were talking about this yesterday and did a little checking and got it confirmed about the superload. We were talking that it will be in the area of the Ross County Fairgrounds entrance sometime between 1 and 3 p.m. today. At last check, they were approaching Divide Hill. I think that was at about 10:15 or so. So sometime between 1 and 5, they'll be out on 104, about 200 yards shy of the fairground entrance. So, as a result, to help reduce that impact, the Ross County Sheriff's Office will open the alternative entrance exit from State Route 207. Visitors planning to enter the fairgrounds in the early afternoon hours today are strongly encouraged to do so traveling west on 207 from 23 or 159. And then once the load is parked, all traffic restrictions on 104 will be lifted. So again, sometime between maybe 12:30 and 3 today, if you want to get to the fairgrounds, take 207 westbound, go into the rear entrance, which a lot of people might not even realize it's there, but you'll see the sign. And then after 3 o'clock, the normal entrance on 104.
I have this feeling, though, that as the superload is making its way up 104, that some of those that can't go in that access, there's going to be a little bit of a backup probably. So I'm imagining them creating a lane on the berm maybe for some of those folks to keep a flow going, but I know it's going to stop and have some of that backed up. So I wouldn't be surprised if it might back up all the way to around 23.
And we have seen this. The last load that came up, I was not too far behind it. There's a lot of people that just like to pull off the road and watch it.
Yeah.
So we see cargo every day and don't even realize what all's inside. But these are unusually large. So even the kids have stood out along the road and waved as they go by. It's almost like a parade. So
yeah, it's like it's a big transformer. It just has yet to transform into a car or robot or whatever. All right, so that's your road report for today. Coming up in a moment, a look at sports next. But first, Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor. If you've got an issue with the comfort in your home due to the temperature or due to the dryness or lack of dryness, you can give them a call. Click on this ad anywhere you see it on our website, littermedia.com. It takes you to AccurateHVAC.com. You'll get all of their information right there. All your questions answered as well when you call Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Find a career you love with Pickaway-Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway-Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Each week, Litter Media presents the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Player of the Week. If you have an athlete to nominate, any amateur athlete is eligible. Simply visit littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. At the end of the year, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Make your nominations now at littermedia.com. Click on Player of the Week.
I was looking for a first job. I had been babysitting and decided it was something for a little more permanent. It pays very well. It's convenient. You can make your own schedule with the flexibility. That's something that I like. The people that I work with are great. I wouldn't ask for a better crew or management team to work for.
As a basketball coach and a dad, I need to be able to keep up.
Mark came to the Adena Orthopedic and Spine Institute in severe arm pain from a degenerative disc.
I was so confident in Dr. Fleming, he explained everything.
Together, they decided on minimally invasive spinal surgery to relieve Mark's pain and get him back to what matters most. At Adena, we do what we love, so you can too.
Leading off in our sports today, it is the Eagle Endurance Challenge. This is the second event coming up. This that you're watching, this is from back in May, and Aaron and I were there for this event, and it was absolutely awesome. Aaron, you want to chime in with some of the things that you saw? I mean, we're seeing what you saw.
I saw lots of things, and I saw feats of strength that I could not pull off.
And the response by the people that were going through these challenging events was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was. They just kept going.
So where is this? Well, it's a Spartan-style race. It's taking place at the Koinonia Farms camp in Hocking Hills. You perhaps remember when we had Michael Linton in here from Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. This is his farm. He and his wife Annette run this farm, and it's fantastic. This is where the Fellowship of Christian Athletes camps take place, and it's a lot of fun. But they added this challenge all thanks to their friend Dave Eagle. So the Eagle Endurance Challenge 2 takes place September 7th, and they're taking not donations, but applications now. So if you want to participate, it's $75 a person to do and put yourself through this. I mean, these people carrying these logs, I don't know how much this thing's weighed. I'm assuming the denseness of it was probably close to 100 pounds each. And so they're like dragging bodies up the hill and everything. But to see how rewarding it was for these individuals afterwards, it was all well worth it. So if you want to participate, they're looking for people to do so. Get more details when you go to the video that you're watching now. You'll see it on our YouTube channel. You'll find everything you need to know about Koinonia Farms.
Also in sports, Lancaster American Legion Post 11 stayed alive with a 2-1 win yesterday morning against Barrington, Illinois at the Great Lakes Regionals near Chicago. Dylan Bird fired a 4-hitter with 5 strikeouts. Now, Post 11, who lost to Midland, Michigan on Wednesday night, it's double elimination. They got to keep winning here to stay in. They play at 4 o'clock today in their next round. And just keep following our Litter X as well as our Litter Media scoreboard page at littermedia.com for the latest. Speaking of our scoreboard, we're the only ones in the area that have been posting high school scores this week, and we had more last night. Ironton shot a .316 to run away with a 22-team Portsmouth Golf Invitational. North Adams was runner-up, 13 strokes back. Waverly's Caden Corkerton was match medalist with a 74. And there's another, I think there was a dual match. There it is. Clinton Massey beating Leesburg Fairfield and McLean over at Buckeye Hills yesterday.
Again, you'll find these results on our website, littermedia.com, under sports. So take a look at that tab right across the very top of the page. Reds battle with the Marlins. And I knew nothing about this game until I got home because we were at the show last night with Tecumseh. And they went into extra frames. And look what happened in the 10th.
Wow.
They could not stop scoring runs. You only need one, boys. Mm-hmm. But why not just keep it going? So the Fish got filleted, and the Reds picked up a win. They're still in last place in the NL Central. Virtual tie with the Chicago Cubs as that continues back and forth. They will they are in Milwaukee to take on the Brewers tonight. The Guardians had the night off after being swept by the Diamondbacks in a doubleheader. They will be heading to Minnesota to play the Twins tonight.
Also in sports today, I was watching this yesterday. When I first tuned in, It was halftime, and I thought, is that score right? They were down by 11. The USA men's basketball dream team survived what looked like would be a nightmare upset. They rallied from a 17-point deficit to beat Serbia 95-91 to advance to Saturday's gold medal game versus France. Steph Curry had 36 points. That was one off the Olympic record set by Carmelo Anthony at 37. LeBron James, who's been playing point guard a lot during this tournament, he had a triple-double to lead the comeback effort. But the difference, defense. In the first half, they weren't playing defense. In the second half, I don't think I've seen NBA players get down on defense like these guys were. When they called a timeout, you thought you were watching high school kids. They were jacked up. And I thought, well, this is refreshing. They act like they really care whether they win or not.
I peeked in on it early at the start of the game, and Curry had scored 11 of the first 13 points, something like that, for the American team. And then when I got home, I was watching some of the Olympics afterwards, and they were showing some of the highlights. And what a flurry of those last 2 minutes. They just took things over.
And Steph was also, I think, the leading rebounder in the game.
Is that right?
For a while there, it was like he was the only one act like he cared what was going on, but that spurred the rest of them.
Let's keep the Euro basketball theme going here because Chillicothe's own Osh Brown has signed with a women's basketball team in Greece. And so she's not starring in Greece, the play. We're talking about Greece, the country. And so I'm not sure how to pronounce the name of the team that she's playing for, but she played in Spain, I think it was last year, and she averaged 13.7 points per game. And we really need to catch up with Osh and talk with her, along with Brandon Moffmer. Brandon, of course, after going to college there at Cedarville, he had an extra year of eligibility thanks to the COVID situation. He took his last year of eligibility to play at Morehead State, then went to Europe to play basketball. He recently signed with a new club, but Osh had that COVID year as well. So after 4 years playing for Ball State, gaining national attention for her rebounding prowess, she ends up going with that last year to Rutgers and has been playing in Europe the last 2 seasons now. So congratulations to these kids. It's really unique. And I know back we were talked about Cindy Hauserman when she was with the Olympic team. She was also playing professionally in Japan and other countries as well. So this is nothing new, but it's an opportunity for kids to keep on playing. And there's another Cavalier who has been playing football this way over in Europe. And I think he's been doing that for maybe 10 years now. I think it is about 10 years, but I have to catch up with Shea Netter as well. And to be, well, is he 40 yet? He's in his late 30s, I know that much. And to still be playing football. Now, granted, when you see some of the game footage and everything, some of the places they play are smaller than a high school crowd, in that respect. But I remember when Chillicothe had an injury to a quarterback, and he was a linebacker. He took over as quarterback. This is Bill Davidson's days of coaching at CHS. And Shea, I thought, he's going to quarterback? Well, we're going to probably run the ball a lot. No, he threw the ball as well. And he had some good receiving talents along with him. And so after his college stuff was done, he said, you know what? I'm going to take this opportunity and go. So he's been doing this for a decade now and making money, a living. I married a gal from over there too, and I think they have a couple of kids now. So Shea, we'll have to catch up with you next time you're back stateside. So, all right, that's a look at sports for you. Coming up, we're going to keep the sports theme going and the Olympic theme as well. Don't do the music because we'll get dinged by either NBC or the Olympic Committee or here on Facebook. So at any rate, that's part of our This State in History. It's coming up next.
But before we do that, we want to tell you about Litter Quality Propane. There is no bill when there's a fill. Contact Litter Quality Propane today about our metered gas service at litterpropane.com. Propane.com.
It's time to get serious about your lawn. It's time to step up to the best mower brand money can buy. For nearly 4 decades, Skag has been the easy choice for lawn care professionals. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best when it comes to mowing your lawn. There's sure to be a Skag model that's perfect for your yard, big or small. Make your lawn the envy of the neighborhood. Visit your local Skag dealer today. Skag, simply the best.
For transportation options in Ross County, call Ross County Health District's Mobility Management Team, 740-779-9652.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing, download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
Are you looking for a beer that satisfies your thirst and love of country? Armed Forces Brewing Company brews beer for patriots. Celebrate freedom with every sip. Armed Forces Brewing Company. Freedom never tasted so good.
Haynes Total Healthcare Center has been celebrating 50 years, and they are at the Ross County Fair. If you've not seen them in the commercial building, stop by and say howdy, and maybe they'll even do a body scan on you there as well. It's all free and an opportunity to learn more. Or if you want to find out more quickly, just go to our website, littermedia.com, click on the Haynes ad that you see here, and it will take you right to HaynesHealth.com. Chiropractic, physical therapy, and nutritional needs. Haynes, established in 1974.
When they scanned you, did they suggest that you donate your body to science?
No, but it did raise an eyebrow or two. This is really cool. You know, he has this monitor thing it'll go along your spine, and this was from 3 years ago, I believe it is. One of the Ohio Village Muffins, his name is Preacher, and he and I collided at first base. I am almost to first base. He, a former rugby player, is coming to make the tag.
Yeah.
And we met at first base. I went that way and rolled a couple of times. And so I go back to the chiropractor for an appointment, and Brandon does this thing, and it shows the body, and then it's got the pressure points and everything. And there were all these red arrows going to the right on the side of my body. And he says, "Did you have a car accident or something recently?" I said, "Oh, I had this little collision at first base." He said, "Good golly, it's messed you up big time." Yeah. So it's really cool to let them show you, and you ask yourself, man, how did I survive that?
Right. Kind of like Whiplash or something.
Yeah, it's like one of those Subaru commercials.
Yeah. But you didn't sue the Muffins.
No, not at all. Not at all. But you see that car go by, and they always say in the end of the commercial, and they survived.
And they survived, yeah.
That was me. So this date in history, we go back to the 1930s.
Yeah, well, the Olympic Games, current games, wrap up this weekend over in Paris, France. But on this date in 1936 at Berlin, African-American track star, and we have to proudly say Ohio State Buckeye, Jesse Owens, wins his 4th gold medal of the games in the 4x100-meter relay. His relay team set a new world record of 39.8. I think now they're down to 33 seconds, which held for 20 years. In their strong showing in track and field events, Jesse Owens and other African-American athletes struck a propaganda blow against Nazi leader Adolf Hitler, who planned to see and use the Berlin Games as a showcase of supposed Aryan superiority. And Adolf was not very happy after all of this. Jesse showed him on this date in 1936.
And he did it in a classy way.
Yes, he did.
As well. Let my actions speak volumes, and he certainly did. You know, when we drove to Florida, I saw this Jesse Owens Memorial Highway, and I'm thinking, why is that here in Alabama? I had forgotten that his family was in Alabama and they moved to Cleveland. And I had forgotten that part from when I was a kid. We had Ohio history, and Jesse Owens is one of the famous Ohioans we were studying. And it just escaped my memory bank. And then when I saw that, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. He's from down here. Yes, sir. But we claim him.
We claim him. It's like the Wright brothers. North Carolina, first in flight, but we claim the Wright brothers. So.
True. And they will tell you in North Carolina that we were the first to do it. Yeah, but it was our boys that went down there to do it.
That's right.
You just happened
they
to have
showed you how to do it.
You just happened to have the wind to make that happen. So, all right, that is it for today. Next week, we will have a special edition with the mayor. Will be here from Chillicothe. We've reached out to other mayors and given them the opportunity to come in and talk about their fair towns, but we have a wonderful relationship with Luke Feeney. We had one with Jack Everson when he was the mayor and all the mayors prior to. So we want to continue that tradition here as well. So if your mayor has not been approached by us, or maybe they have been and they haven't responded,
right? Maybe
ask them and say, hey, have you gone to talk about our town?
Yeah.
Please do.
We have talked to a couple of others actually on the show, but we offered the opportunity for them to come back, and they have not accepted that. And I guess we...
Out of sight, out of mind, I guess.
Hopefully we didn't do that bad of a job on the interview. They didn't want to come back.
I'm never going back to Mike Smith.
Mike Wallace guy there.
Yeah, you gave me too hard of questions to answer. No. And that's the thing. We don't ask real hard questions or anything like that.
Want to get information about your town.
Open forum in that respect. All right, that's it for today's program. We hope that you've received some news that's beneficial to you. It's all good stuff, and we've shared it for you here today on Litter Media Live on YouTube and Facebook. Thanks for watching.